Are you alone out here? What are you doing so deep in the jungle?
Hi, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Christy. This is Alonzo. This is Matt. It is the Jungle Book. It is spectacular. Who wants to describe it to us?
I will. The Jungle Book.
You're dressed for
Yes,
it.
exactly.
Every day is a Jungle Book.
Cruise.
Exactly. All right. So the Jungle Book is based off of Rudyard Kipling's
Yes.
Rudyard Kipling's
We'll go with
story. This is probably the 6th or 7th time that this has been turned into a movie.
Yeah.
There's been 2 or 3 live action versions. There was the animated version that had songs, and this one may or may not have some songs, but it's pretty fun. Let's take a look at the clip.
I'll keep you close. Let go of your fear now. And trust in me.
So I kind of love this. I think this is gorgeous. It is dazzling. Like the use of 3D is so tactile, so immersive. I don't know how this kid did this. Like the kid's amazing in it.
He's very good at talking to tennis balls or whatever they use now for,
Was that what it was? We were talking about it afterward. Like, was it the kid walking around with a tennis ball, and then later on Bill Murray came in and talked like a bear? I mean, how did
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
It's so seamless.
Everybody now, it's all about who is the behind the scenes. That I don't want to know, because this movie, you're right, it's gorgeous to look at. I felt more sort of immersed into this world than any movie I think I've seen since Avatar. I will actually say, see it in 3D.
Please.
It's worth it.
You have to.
So so I don't really know the secrets, and I don't want to know, because it is seamless. Like in and the thing is, it's one thing to kind of create these amazing visual effects purely to sort of dazzle people, and that's fun, and that can be effective. But here it actually sort of underscores the emotional through line of the movie. So when a CG she-wolf voiced by Lupita Nyong'o has to say goodbye to the boy that she has raised as her own, it's kind of right. it's a moment, and that moment works because you believe that that's a she-wolf and not a mass of ones and zeros.
Yeah, and also just the big action set pieces, they are all totally germane to who this kid is and his journey, and how has he figured out where he belongs. Him running across tree branches and being chased by creatures, and it's not just gratuitous, zippy, glossy action. It's totally relevant emotionally to who he is and his journey.
Yeah, I think this movie really succeeds because the kid is so good. Neil Sethi. He really sells that. I mean, look, even if he is talking to tennis balls, he sells it really well without being precocious, without being too cutesy. There are a couple of moments in the movie that start to get a little distracted, where there's animals kind of joking around, and it starts to be a little bit of like, okay, enough, let's get back to the story. But when this is focused on his story, it's really good, and I like the way the script kind of adapts the various beats that you expect out of the Jungle Book stories and turns them into one kind of cohesive plot line and makes it kind of urgent. There's a sense of urgency there. I really like this. And the voice casting is great.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Impeccable.
Yeah, really. Bill Murray and Christopher Walken.
Ben Kingsley, who I thought was Ray Fiennes the whole time.
Yeah, I did too.
He's Voldemort. He's a good guy sometimes too. Although, you know what? I gotta say, the Christopher Walken King Louis is almost like a parody of what you would expect Christopher Walken voicing a giant gorilla might sound like. It's funny,
It works.
and that sequence is again spectacular and giant.
You mentioned the musical version that Disney made in the late '60s, and this is in that list of let's redo all the old Disney cartoons as live action movies, which is not an inherently good or bad idea. It kind of is a case-by-case thing. And here it mostly works. I think script-wise, they're following the beats of that movie more than the books, although they make it feel less episodic. It feels more like there's a definite through line. The thing that bugs me about this movie is that they can't decide if they want to be a musical or not. They know that we love the songs from the '67 Jungle Book, but they don't want to go full bore on it, so they throw in a verse of Bare Necessities, and
They do the
and
whole song. They do it
but-
twice.
no. They sing the first verse twice, and that's it.
Okay.
Right.
And then and a bit of I Want to Be Like You, and that's it. You know, and I think
I
Ka
think that's-
says trust in me, but doesn't do the song.
But I
It's-
think that's okay, right? Because look, like we look back at that original musical, the original animated version with a little bit of rose-colored glasses, and it's really dated. And not all of those, like the elephant song, is not very good, and that one's gone.
Sure, but
right?
I'm just
it's
saying,
like,
if you're going to do it, and if you're not going to do it, don't do it. It just felt weirdly like in a movie that is very straightforward and very kind of emotionally realistic, to then suddenly have this bit of a song in it, and then they run away from it as soon as it's over. Like, wait,
I disagree.
what are we doing now? Like that gets muddled for me.
I was surprised that it had any music at all, because like you, looking at it, going into it, I figured it would be just like a straightforward live-action Jungle Book. And I actually was joking with Nicholas beforehand. I'm like, when are they going to sing Bare Necessities? I'm like, boom, they sing Bare Necessities.
well, right. So this movie goes towards a place where you think, okay, we're doing this without music. That's cool. And then I know that I felt like I'm going to miss Bare Necessities at least, and I'm going to miss I Want to Be Like You. Like those are the best songs out of that musical.
Sure.
There you go.
And it's like, all right, here, we'll give you just a little taste. And I think it finds the right balance. It's just enough of that music. It doesn't wear out its welcome. They wisely, yes, you get Trust in Me, but not till the end. Like, I think that's good. And look, like, I know people are going to say, oh, spoiler alert, whatever. If you are,
It's a remake.
if you're looking for twists in the Jungle Book, God help you. I think this one, it finds the right balance. I think this movie's great. Again, there's a couple of problems where I think it starts to tilt towards like the scene where there's, the pangolin and one of the little primates are talking about Mowgli, with the honey. Like that starts to get a little too jokey and a little unfocused.
It's a little shticky, yeah.
There's a couple of shticky moments that I think take away that they could have tightened up here, but for the most part, this movie's terrific.
The
And
Gary,
I think,
the Gary Shandling porcupine.
which is great.
Oh, which is sweet now.
I
yeah.
dare say I think this might be better than the animated version.
I'd say so.
I'd have to go look at the animated version again. It's been a while.
We get nostalgic for it, I think, from childhood.
There are some intense moments in this.
Yes.
How did young Nicholas Lemire take
He
it?
did fine,
Okay.
because Nick has seen, as I've pointed out, he's seen all the Star Wars movies. He's seen a lot more than most 6.5-year-old kids have seen.
Well, and he loved Deadpool.
I'm not that bad of a mom, although I did take him to barbershop last night, so we'll talk about that later. But there are kids in Nick's class whose moms are like, is it scary? My kid can't handle violence. There's some really, really intense action sequences between the panther and the tiger. We didn't mention Idris Elba. He's really, really great.
Yes,
Tiger.
Shere Khan.
So
there are
if you
animals
know
being
your
thrown
kid,
off cliffs. I mean, there's some
death.
stuff.
There's death.
Yeah.
If your kid's not ready for that kind of action, this is really quite intense. But I believe it's still PG.
Yeah.
It's still a PG-rated movie.
But
Yeah, I think so.
gauge if you got kids.
Who are sensitive.
Figure out
Mine is
their-
clearly not sensitive. There you go. So what are your numbers then, friends?
I give it an 8. It's a very solid movie, way better than I was expecting, and again, pay for the 3D. It's worth it.
I give it an 8.5.
I'm saying 9.2. This is pretty freaking spectacular. So 8.6 is our average. And
92% on the tomato meter.
go see it. Bye.